videos on YouTube. We do game summaries. Everything we do goes on YouTube, and occasionally we always talk about, if you dig deep enough, you find some bloopers of us on YouTube. And if you haven't out there listening, haven't had an opportunity to check us out, please do so. CTN Studios on YouTube.
As you see the Cardinals warming up for this third period, and that man's got a big job here, Justin Ball, and he's got to keep it at 5 to allow his team to come back in this game.
Yeah, and again, the energy level, we talked about it in between the break. It's so important for Coon Rapids to come back here, skating with a lot of energy in period number 3, because obviously when you're down like this, you're down by 3, 17 minutes to go, still plenty of time, but they need that third goal, I would assume, fairly quickly here in period number 3.
See Brandon Molesky shouting some instructions to his team, huddling up by the bench. And as a coach, with a 3-goal deficit, do you break the game down a little bit into smaller sections and say, let's try and get a goal here in this amount of time, and then we'll work on the second one? Or is it just, let's get that next goal and go from there?
Well, I kind of think you might have to put it in sections a little bit, but again, you can't force the issue, because if you force the issue, that's when you make mistakes, and I just think it's playing with that same level of intensity they came out of the second period with. Granted, you just have to keep your chemistry together with your team, and your spirit up, obviously, as your player, because you've only have 3 wins on the season. You'd like to try and get that 4th, but it's going to be a big effort to get number 4 here, trailing by 3.
And the Randall, Johnson, Wojciechowski line out there to try and get things going. Bruner and Hafner back on defense. Rapids controls off the draw. It's turned over here, and there's an early offside call against Tanner Skaya, who has 2 goals in this game. As you see, Skaya, the junior.
We talked about Skaya earlier. He's, as a sophomore, big producer for the Tigers, and here coming back, being the leader here as a junior. And you can see why he has a number of points. He does a nice job, not necessarily scoring goals, but getting assists.
And this is a team that last year well under 500, and with a new coaching staff this year, 5 games over 500 at this point of the season, as this one's bounced in front. So a market improvement, and a lot of it is down to that junior Skaya. A couple others like Riley Bates here who dumps it in. He's got 11 goals, 10 assists on the year coming into this one. Now Peterson throwing it in front. Skaya tips it wide. Altina along the far side, tries to get it back. Nice turn there by Bruner to get it out of trouble, but turns it back over, and Braden Altina throws it behind the net for Skaya again. Altina hammered into the boards by Bruner, and that time he very sure to get around him before he made the play. Good body check there, and now a 2-on-1 for Coon Rapids. Trying to throw it in front was Wojciechowski, and Peterson played it perfectly. That went behind the net.
That's why they like Peterson. He's so good on the defensive end. He's such a smart player, and he's able to get in the way and make sure that pass didn't come across ice.
Now Wojciechowski there deferring to the leading scorer on the team, but that time maybe shooting was the better option. It's a nice turn by Peterson behind his own net. Pressured there by Anchita. Dodges a hit from Ruff and gets it around, and it's flipped back out to center by Ober. Battle along the far side wall. Raker Repke kind of back-heeled it out to center. It's pinned up along the penalty bench. Would be the Coon Rapids Cardinal penalty bench, currently empty. Here's Nagley firing one off the pads of a St. Cloud Tech defender. Now busting back the other way. A 2-on-1. Here's Oberg moving in and firing, and he missed high, well high, as he had Davidson along the far side. Dumped back in by Setram. Off the skate of Havelka, swings it around the wall, hops the stick of Nagley. Ruff trying to help it along over there as he takes down Jake Samuelson. Pops back out to the blue line and punched out to center by Garrett Day. Pushed in by Lawrence. Setram around the wall. Samuelson there for St. Cloud Tech. Day trying to pressure him, but Samuelson able to escape, and then he just barrels over Havelka, but Coon Rapids emerges with the puck. Another hit thrown by Samuelson on Lawrence. Didn't take him down. Samuelson in his own line. Lays it ahead. He was looking for Mendel, who started the scoring in this game on the power play in the first period. Now Bruner behind his own net. Lawrence muscles it out to center, but then ices the puck as he battled there with Andrew Setram. 14:05 remaining in this one.
Charlie, if you're Coach Heitkamp going into that time or period break, you tell your team, don't continue to apply a lot of pressure, continue to be physical, continue to apply pressure on the Cardinal net, because, granted, you don't want to continue to give momentum to the Cardinals trying to play catch up here.
Both Settrum's back on defense, and getting his geometry wrong there was Joe Settrum, and turns it over to Coon Rapids. Randall moving in. Johnson there to help out. Big battle behind the net, and it comes around to Skaya. Headman pass tipped at neutral ice by Reinholds all the way in. That's going to be icing, as Reinholds hadn't gained the red line yet.
An opportunity to bring the puck back down into the Tiger end. And this is a point where, Coon Rapids again going to have to try and apply some pressure. See the big man, Steve Bruscheko, coming out. Well, if you want a copy of this game, the best way to see it is on HD. Go to CTN Studios, order a copy of a DVD or a Blu-ray on and that is the best way to see CTN Sports. Go to the website, order up some discs for yourself, for your friends, good gifts. Great opportunity to see what we do here at CTN Studios.
Hooked in by Riley Bates, and ball just fires it back out to center. No official shots on net so far here in the third period. Randall leaving it for Johnson, who turns, and there's one. And it's sticked high into the air by Althaus, and then batted out of there by Settrum. Long-range effort by Nagley, tipped high. Now Altina on the far side flips it back out to center, and Cheetah waiting for it as he's just off the Coon Rapids bench. Onto the near side, Nagley sends a bouncer in on net. Althaus had to stay with that one. Short hops it into the glove and then leaves it for Peterson. Right through the middle, Peterson lost out. It took 3 Cardinals to get the puck away from him, but he lost out eventually. Now Nagley pops it up in the air in neutral ice, comes down to Altina. Takes a chop from Ruff, goes around him. Altina to the backhand, trying to sweep one in front. Havelka dogging him every inch of the way. Flip back out to the line, and it sets up nicely here for Raker Repke. They got a 2-on-1 moving in. Raker Repke fires high and wide. Working for his second of the day. Now it's deflected in front, and Raker Repke right on top of it again, and he pushed it just wide on the far side. Now thrown in front for Ruff. Ruff behind the net. Tried to center for Anchita, but in the way was Austin Keller. Still in the St. Cloud Tech zone. Raker Repke dumps it in deep, goes for a change. Ruff trying to hold it in there, and Peterson able to take it away. Good pressure here from Coon Rapids. And Peterson dumps it in deep. Bruner behind the net. Hooks it beyond the charging Mendel. Out to center, it's Went. Back for Peterson. Banks went off the wall that came all the way through to Bruner. Comes across to the near side, and it's off the stick of Brett Johnson. Johnson turning with Peterson. Peterson looked like he lost an edge there, but Johnson's going to get called for the penalty.
Yeah, again, tough penalty for the Cardinals to take here, as they're going to play a man short with 11:37 remaining in the period, trailing by 3.
Well, that man's got some coaching to do here. Yeah. He's going to have to kill off 2 minutes of power play time for St. Cloud Tech.
Well, the last thing you can afford if you're Coon Rapids is to give up a power play goal at this point.
Peterson to the top of the formation. Out to the far side, this is Skaya moving in and scoring. 9 seconds into the power play, and it's a hat-trick goal for Tanner Skaya, and it's 6-2 St. Cloud Tech.
Boy, he rifled at it to the far corner of the net. Just a nice job by Skaya, just going to come in and take it all alone, and look at him wrist it past ball for the goal. That makes it 6-2 now in favor of St. Cloud Tech, and that takes a little air out of the Cardinals' balloon.
Look at all the space he had on that side. I mean, this is the most dangerous man on the ice for the Tigers, and he was allowed to walk in about 6-7 feet with that shot. A player with that kind of skill and that kind of room is going to make you pay.
Yeah, and you have to do a much better job defensively putting a body on him, making sure that he doesn't get that kind of look.
That'll be icing as it's all the way down. That was the first official shot here in the third period for St. Cloud Tech, and they made it count.
They really did. Coach Heitkamp can, grant the 3-goal lead coming into that, but Reeves just a little bit easier with his squad up by 4.
Now Skaya now with 40 points on the year. Very impressive feat for the junior. The next highest scorer for St. Cloud Tech is a player we haven't seen at all today, as there's a huge hit in the corner. That was Brasheko again. That time he got Skaya, and it was about the same spot. He took down Joe Setrum in the second period.
Well, he's a big young man, one of the offensive linemen for the football team at Coon Rapids.
Oh, you call that one a pancake block. Here's Nagley moving it in on the backhand, and Althouse had to steer that one aside. Looked like Nagley was trying to center it. It ended up being more of a shot. But we talk about, as I was saying a second ago, Skaya with 40 points now in the year. Their second leading scorer is Matt Brettingen. Normally wears number 8, plays defense. He's got 5 goals, 21 assists this year. Not with the team today.
Nope, haven't seen him dressed.
Wojciechowski off the draw for Coon Rapids. And of course, with high school teams, that could be anything. It could be the player is sick. Could be the player's family is on vacation.
Yep.
These are not professionals. They're not necessarily always required to be at every game. Now behind the net, Anchita battling there. Bruner takes a hit to get it in deep. Nagley trying to spin it in front. Anchita lifted the stick of Went, but couldn't get the second crack at it. He had some net to shoot at. Wojciechowski pressuring Peterson on the far side. Bruner pinching to keep it in. Fired through the legs of Anchita by Wojciechowski. Now Justin Oberg back the other way. Banks it off of Hafner, and Hafner touches it off the wall and gets it back out to center. Anchita dumps it in. 9:55 to go in the game, and time really running out on the Cardinals here. Now we got a player lying on top of the puck in the corner, so they blow the whistle.
Yeah, you're under 10 minutes left, Charlie, and down by 4. It makes it really difficult to mount any kind of a comeback here. You had the momentum going into this third period, but now it's given right back to St. Cloud Tech with that goal.
Get a good look at Jake Peterson there as he skates off the ice. Brasheko trying to barrel in and work a shot on this face-off, but it comes back out to center and dumped back in by Mendel. Hafner behind the net, takes it from Ball, banks it high off the boards. It hops over the stick of Andrew Setrum, and brother Joe right there to help out. Very big brotherly of him on defense. Now here's Nagley at center ice. Dumps it back in deep. This is Joe Setrum behind the net, squeezed up against the wall by Day, who pounced on him on the forecheck. Helped along by Jake Samuelson. Back out to center for Skaya. Foot race here. Skaya's going to win that. Goes to the backhand, and he missed it wide.
Now you look at his speed as he's able to beat the defender to the net.
Well, Velka couldn't keep up with him, but he may have made him work just hard enough that he ran out of room for that move. Another maybe foot of space. That one's on net, and it looked like Ball was beaten. There's Bates turning in his own end. Andrew Setrum on the far side. Headman pass for Bates. 4-man battle along the far side. Taking a hit there on the far side was Skaya. Now back out to center. Here's a breakaway for Nagley, and he is clean through, and he fired it high. Well, Nagley just out-racing Andrew Setrum for that puck. Now here's Wojciechowski, and he misses the net high. But Althouse going down early.
Sometimes that adrenaline gets going, your eyes get big, and somebody just put too much on that shot, and that's what he did at that particular point in time.
Certainly had a lot behind it.
Yeah.
Now Seth Johnson cut off at the line by Joe Setrum. Nice play to step up on defense. And now this is number 28, Logan Rager. First time we've seen him on the ice tonight for St. Cloud Tech, and with that 4-goal lead restored in under 8 minutes to go, we said in the second period you might start to see some more unfamiliar names. Now Wojciechowski moving into the zone, cut off by Peterson. Help comes from Randall, battling with Rager, and Peterson turning in his own end. Moves back out to center. Dumps it in, stick to the corner by Ball. Bruner touches it around to the far side. Waiting for it over there is Alex Keller. A very diminutive Alex Keller, number 17, 5'3", 125 pounds. Keller just a freshman, younger brother of Austin Keller. Rather, Alex Keller's a sophomore.
Yeah, when you're that size, you have to account for your speed, and you're certainly not going to go play a physical game.
You'd have to think he's elusive.
I would imagine so.
And he better be.
Yeah, that size, yes, absolutely.
He's Went spinning it around to the far side, picked off by Raker Repke, and he's really made an impact on this game when he's been in there, Raker Repke. Of course, he has the goal, but he has forechecked hard. He just made his presence felt out there in limited time.
He has, and he's had a couple of opportunities to get an additional scoring chance.
Mendel leaves it, and a high glove save on the shot by Samuelson.
Hey, you talked about some kids coming into this game that may not get the kind of ice time if the contest is closer, and that's always an advantage for a coach. When you have a depth team that's as deep as St. Cloud Tech, you get an opportunity to play some guys that may not get the kind of minutes that you'd like them to be able to play. So this one, they a little more experience, because if later down the road they're called into action, they've got that experience.
Skaya tied up on the draw by Day, and busting it out to center is Nagley, who had the breakaway chance a moment ago. He's racing forward again, leaves it to the middle, comes through to Day, and he ended up getting a soft shot on net, but Althouse had to glove it down, and there's a committee meeting in front.
As your defender, you're always protecting your goalkeeper, making sure that nobody comes and takes any cheap shots.
A line out there, Day, Crandall, and Brashenko. Nagley and Wikenot on defense. See Bates get tossed out of the draw, and now Day does as well. So Skaya and Crandall, the two number 16s on it. Dumped to the corner by Brashenko. Wikenot turns and fires it in deep. Joe Setram sets it up behind his own net. Pestered by Crandall. Touched back out to neutral ice, and Skaya runs onto it, settles it down. Good speed, trying to move it in front for Bates. Pass was blocked off, and Nagley helping out. Long range shot by Setram, blocked by Nagley, and here he goes again. Nagley one-on-one at the line, and he hammers one high and wide on the far side, and it came around and hit the backup goaltender for St. Cloud Tech on the bench.
Yeah, he's kind of resting on the edge of that bench, and that puck
make much of an effort.
Around he didn't make any effort. But again, a nice opportunity for Nagley again there. But that puck's going to come all the way around. Yeah.
I think that's Riley Miller over there, we thought was going to start. And of course, it's his instinct. He's a goalie.
Yeah,
he's supposed to get out of the way of the puck.
Got to stop the puck.
When you back up Austin Althouse, you don't get much time on the ice. You stop pucks wherever you can. Randall dumping it back out to center. Wojciechowski tried to play it ahead for Johnson. Andrew Setram cut it off, and then it was played ahead by Austin Keller. Keller trying to glove it down, came all the way through to Wojciechowski, who banks it off the wall. Played there by Wendt. Wojciechowski had his stick lifted, and it's dumped in by Oberg with 5:18 to go. Bruner on the far side, leaves it for Randall, had his pocket picked by Andrew Setram, comes out to Oberg, took his time trying to line up the shot, and Wojciechowski was able to knock it off his stick. Now Bruner in the corner. And again picked off by Austin Keller. Great forechecking work by him. And a 1-2 combination failed as Altina missed a wide open net.
That's the second time that St. Cloud Tech has missed an open net in that very same spot. They're getting just a nice pass. And he'd love to have that one back, because that was a sure goal at this point.
Couldn't see if the puck was rolling at all, which would be a reason why that one would have flipped wide. It was a great pass by Oberg. Could have taken the shot himself.
You can see we're under 5 minutes remaining in this contest. The Cardinals trailing by 4, 6-2.
Engel spins around the wall, touched on by Lucas Ruff, and then he ran over the defender who was in his way. Now Nagley, who's really made some offensive effort here, even from the blue line. It's been the most dangerous attacker Coon Rapids has had in this third period. 2 golden chances. Hasn't hit the net with either, though. Pavelka chops it high off the wall. Samuelson is there, dumped it in, and it hit the offside man, Brody Davidson, and will bring it back out to neutral ice.
You look at shots on goal for Coon Rapids. They had 2 in that first period, and then only, I believe, only 1 shot on goal here. 2 shots on goal here in this period. And again, you don't get scoring opportunities when you can't put the puck on net.
Davidson off the draw, lost control of the puck, and Havelka dumps it back out to center. Fired right back in again by Andrew Setram. Is seeing a lot of time, the freshman, in this third period with the big lead. Cody Crandall behind his own net. Puts it around the wall, pushed out to center by Lawrence. Back to the blue line for Joe Setram. Nice play there by Havelka to cut off the dump-in attempt by Davidson. Now mishandles the puck and then gets dumped down to the ice by Samuelson. He skated right into him. Havelka put himself in danger there and took a big hit for it. Joe Setram behind his own net. Lost an edge as he tried to go around Lawrence. Now Havelka couldn't get it out of the zone. Good pressure here from Riley Bates, and then he gets hit by his opposite number, Lawrence, in the corner. Lawrence not a big guy, but threw a big hit there.
He did.
Andrew Setchum fires it in, stick to the corner by Ball. 3:16 remaining in the game. Wojciechowski on the near side. Plays it in for Seth Johnson. Johnson fights off a check, throws it through the crease, and it's sticked away by Althaus. Randall trying to backhand one towards the net on the bounce. And ahead comes Alex Keller. Now Peterson gains the blue line. Down below the end line, just battling there with Hafner. And Peterson comes out with the puck. Fantastic hands. And this defenseman fired one into a crowd. And Johnson able to push it ahead.
Well, you can see why Coach Heitkamp talks about Peterson the way he does. I mean, he's really the leader on this team. He's not the goal scorer that Skaya is, and that at least at this point, but he had a late start to the season. But he is fundamentally is so clean. His hockey skills are very, very good.
Off the draw, pushed ahead, and here comes Keller. That was Austin Keller. It's thrown back in front again. Austin Keller is in front. And played out of the zone by Lucas Ruff. Stopped right on the blue line. That actually never got out. Oberg behind the net, and he runs over Ball. Does a good job to stay on his feet there. But the penalty's going to go against Oberg anyway. Can't touch the goalies.
Can't touch the goalies. And Oberg's going to take a seat in the bench. The last Cardinals will be on the power play for the 2 minutes with 2:09 remaining in this game. And you know, that explosive third period that Coach Molesky had hoped for certainly has never materialized here for Coon Rapids.
Oberg protested his case all the way to the box, and now Joel Heitkamp wants an explanation from the referee. There wasn't a lot of contact.
No.
He just didn't hold up. Those goalies are not fair game.
Well, and if they're a 3-3 game, I think Coach Heitkamp would be a little more upset, but the fact that his team's up by 4 with 2 minutes remaining, it's not going to upset him too much.
Goldberg's defense of himself was, I did everything I could.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
Bruner swings it around the near side wall for Randall. Back to Bruner, top of the formation, fires one through a crowd, and looking for the tip was Johnson. And Nagel fouled up on the far side, but couldn't get a shot away. And now Bruner can't keep it in. All the way back down to the other end. About 8 seconds difference between the game clock and the penalty clock. So this one will essentially see out the rest of the game, unless Coon Rapids can put one in. Seth Johnson along the far side. Trying to go around Wendt. Cuts to the middle again. That one's shut off by Althaus, who played his post. And a diving play to knock it back out to center by Riley Bates.
That was a great play by Bates, take pressure out of the zone.
Especially in a 4-goal game like this, a coach will be very happy with that kind of effort. Randall trying to hold it in. Oh, Bates was trying to glove it down for a 2-on-0 opportunity and missed it. Ended up being a shot for Nagley, and it went wide.
1 minute remaining in period.
1 minute to go. And Ball looking for a long outlet pass, but his teammates were changing in front of him. That's when the goalie picks up the puck with an assist in his mind.
Yeah, not too often you get a point if you're a goaltender.
Dumped in deep. Wojciechowski battling there with Peterson, who just dances out of the way of the check. I don't want to heap too many superlatives on one player, but he does so many things well.
Yes, he does.
Broken stick for Samuelson as he tried to clear. This one's all the way down, and 25 seconds remaining in the game. Behind his own net is Garrett Day. Tried to play it ahead. It was picked off, and back to Day again. 12 seconds to go in the game. And it looks like 6-2 is going to be our final score here as Coon Rapids moving in one more time. Long shot is gloved by Austin Althaus. One more face-off and some pushing and shoving in front of the net.
Yeah, this loss will drop the Cardinals to a 3-14-2 record. Obviously not the kind of season that Coach Molesky had hoped for when the season started. But again, very young team, 21 sophomores on this roster, a lot of youth in this program. Coach Molesky's trying to develop that over the season. And this victory is going to put St. Cloud Tech at 12-6 on the season. And as you mentioned earlier in this broadcast, the section coming up, granted it's not a section opponent, but all the wins that you can get in a tight race is very important.
And this is a St. Cloud Tech team that's trying to build, as they have been really alternating wins and losses lately. They're 3-5 in their last 8 games. And a win here for them, a 6-2 victory as they progress towards the rest of their season. Some big games coming up for them. They've still got Roseau and Moorhead to play this year. They celebrate a win here. 6-2 is the final. The story of this one is really just St. Cloud Tech able to dictate the pace of play.
Yeah, and they did from the start, and they didn't let Coon Rapids really get into any kind of offense. And the Cardinals defensively, a lot of pressure down in their zone, obviously in that first period. Tech jumps out to that 3-0 lead, and really they didn't look back. And the Cardinals had a little bit of momentum here in period number 2, but Tech came out and made sure that they put the clamps down on the Cardinals. Cardinals not able